Hello, everyone. And here we go again. Yes, here we are with a principal moment. And I'm just going to spend 15 minutes and I'm going out the way. I know some of y'all can't wait to watch Oprah and deal with the prince and the princesses and all those other things. But still want to dig into a principal moment with and regarding character, integrity. Going to talk a little bit about values in this brief segment for today. So, just for those of you who are watching for the very first time, maybe you have not seen or heard me talk about what is a principle. A principle are things that really don't like they never change. Okay, and pretty much character never changes. You should be whoever you are out in public. That's who you should be in your private life. Should be the same. You shouldn't be afraid to allow someone to see you in your home because it should be the same character that you are when you're out in the open. Anyway, a principle is a fundamental, is a primary or general law or truth from which others are derived. So there are principles as far as in laws, and we have laws that don't change. Sometimes they have to be voted upon, things like that to change. We also have, and then also principles are characters. Okay, principles are characters, and the brief illustration that I gave was the ABCs. Those are characters, and characters never change. A is always going to be A. There is no substitute for A. B is going to be B. Always going to be B. So there's no substitute. So even though they're alphabets and they're characters, they don't change. Can you say that about you? Do you change? All right. So let's move on down. Now this is episode number 3. If you need to get caught up with the other ones, just let me know. And then you'll be able to find those. You'll also be able to find them on my Coach AD Fullwood page as well. So at the end of last week, I talked about character is that which is unchanging. It is that which is unchanging. So who are you? Who are you? Really, who are you? And I got a great quote by John Wooden that I'm going to give at the end of this. But who are you? Okay. One way to help determine who you are you persistent? Are you persistent in who you are day in and day out? Are you persistent? Are you predictable? Okay. Now, some people may take offense to being predictable, where they're like, well, they're so predictable, and sometimes we look at that as boring. Well, I know exactly what they're going to do, da 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 da. But the good thing about that in reality is that they don't change. You know exactly what they're going to do. They're not going to go off to the left. They're not going to go off to the right. You know exactly who they are. That's character. That is character. Okay? So it's unchanging. And so you're going to find out who you are. So when you look at people's character, just watch them. Watch how they interact. Are they persistent? Are they like, okay, I know when they come in the house, they're going to do this, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do this. Some people are, they can be predictable. When they go to work, they go this way, they go that way. It's just the same routine, but it's a character trait. They're not wishy-washy. They're not, some of us may get bored with our lives, and so we're constantly coming up with changing. But if that's the case, then is there something going on inside of you that's not settled? That where you always have to be changing like a chameleon. Okay. Are you predictable? Last thing is leaders must have character. Leaders must have character. And unfortunately, and I can be honest, I've, not realizing how important character is, how important it is to have integrity in my younger days. And so even those, if you had quote unquote a perfect character, and yet something you did that was outside of your character begin to bring shame and those things like that, it takes a long time for you to get back, if you're able to get back to that place where everybody respects you because of your character. See, your character is based on your principles. Okay? And because principles are laws and stuff, and they don't change, so you value your principles, so people know you based off of, well, they have solid principles about life, about biblically speaking, solid principles, work ethics, principles, family, principles. And so many may not even want to be around you because they think they're bored, they so cut, they so dry, but cut and dry is good because then you know what to expect. That way you don't get caught off guard. So you want to be able to display yourself in a way that, watch this, to where people will bless you just because you're a man or woman of character. You have integrity, okay? You say what you mean. You do what you say. You don't try to overcommit yourself to something that you know you're not going to be able to do. See, now many people get upset because they want you to say certain things. Have you ever been in conversations? Well, I want you to say this. Well, okay, if I say something that I don't mean, and then if I don't come through with what you wanted because of what I said that was against my principles, against what I believe, against my character, knowing that, why would you want me to agree with you on something, verbally commit to something that I myself don't feel is right? Or I myself, what? So the only reason why I'm going to say it is to please you. Then when I fall short of my commitment of my words, then now you're going to attack my character. So I'd rather speak from that free place. Okay, I know what you want me to say. I know what you want to hear, but that's not true within me. So you might have your feelings hurt now, but it's better that way than for me to say something just because you want to hear it and your heart pity pat, or just to know that, okay, now you feel good because we're in agreement. But no, in all actuality, we're not in agreement. I just did it maybe because we could just move on from this conversation. Have you ever done that before? Okay. People will not follow you if they can't trust you. I looked today and there's 900 people following me. Not too long ago, I would say probably less than a month ago, it was like half of that, maybe. But why are they following me? What are you looking for? Do you not know there's people that's following you? And you don't know why they're following you? And if you don't pay attention to who's following you, maybe they're checking out your character. Maybe they're checking to see if you're a man and woman of integrity. Maybe they're just spying. Maybe they're just being nosy. We have those too. We have those lurkers. We have those that troll our pages. So maybe it's that. But look at those who have a great number of followers. And whatever they release, they buy. Books, DVDs, whatever it is nowadays that's out there, whatever platform, whatever merchandise they sell, they buy it. Why would you buy somebody's stuff? Is it because you trust it? You trust their character, you trust their integrity. If you don't buy somebody's book and you're going to read somebody's book, hopefully you're gaining something from it. You're gaining some form of experience, some new knowledge, some new wisdom, understanding, some form of knowledge, okay? Understand this, your character will attract loyalty. Your character will attract loyalty. To me, I'd rather have a small group of people that are loyal to me. And I'm not talking about groupies, but I'm talking about people that are loyal to me. And even to the point that even if I'm wrong, they're loyal enough to say, hey, Dre, you made a mistake here. Something wasn't right here. So I'd rather have that than to have a whole bunch of people and say, oh, I got all these influences over all these people, and because they like my delivery, and I have a charismatic way, and all these other things. But in all actuality, if I fall, if I make a mistake, if I cause damage to my character, are they the ones that's going to talk about me? Are they the ones that's going to bash me? I need loyal people who can see. We should want loyal people that are for us and that will be there for us even if we miss the mark. It doesn't negate that you're not a good leader. You made a mistake. Okay. Character is a commitment to a set of values without compromise. Okay. Have you ever been talking with someone and they know that you have these set of values, right? And these set of values you hold on to, you live by, and they have become your character. Okay. But their values may not be like your values. And so one particular, say, item within your values, y'all differ from, and then they want you to compromise your value because they don't have a high esteem, or they don't respect that type of value, or they don't put that much emphasis in the value in that particular thing like you do. And they kind of downplay it, it's kind of nonchalant. And so sometimes they may think you're over the top. And so they want you to compromise, but no, you cannot compromise, because then you're dropping down your values. That means that what you once valued, you no longer value them more just to keep friends, just to maintain a relationship. No, trust me. However, whatever your values are, there are other people who have values just like yours, and maybe some that's even further or more in depth than what you believe that you have. So you never want to come down. You always want to go up. You always want to be with people who have great values, have great character, believe and hold on to principles. Those are the people that you want to be around. Got 2.5 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to go into, no, I'm not going to go into values. Let me do this. I'm going to hang on to what our values. We'll go more into depth about values next week. But let me do this. I'm going to talk about the quote by John Wooden. Okay. And this is so perfect, especially in the social media age that we're in right now. But John Wooden was a famous Hall of Fame basketball coach for UCLA. And he coached Lou Alcindor, which we know as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Had some undefeated basketball seasons. Great man. And in this quote, he said, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation." There's a difference with your character, and there's differences, character and reputation. There's a difference. He says, because your character is what you really are. Your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think that you are. Okay? Reputation. What is your reputation? If somebody was to ask some of your colleagues or friends, and they're asking about you, are they asking about your reputation, or are they really asking about who you really are? When we're wearing masks, when we are wearing masks, that's not who we really are. That's a false character that we're about to act now. We're about to be an actress, and we're about to perform. Okay? Because we have a reputation, because people think that I'm this way. But when you become real with yourself, you don't need a mask, you don't need to perform, and you're not really even worried about what other people think, because this is who I really am. Now, I may be rough around the edges. You may not like me. You may not like certain things about me, but at least you know what you see is what you get. When other people look at you and they talk to you, Are they really getting who you really are? That's my principal moment. This is yours truly. This is Coach A.B. Fullwood. I'll be back again next Sunday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for all the comments and the encouragement. Appreciate you. Share. I'll be back again next Sunday, 8 o'clock, 8:15. Take care.